Hello everyone, welcome to Mitra's IES. Today we'll start with the session 8, and in this session our objective is to do all the important topics with respect to geography and also look at the places in news. So in this important places in news, so that would also be our objective as well as the important topics which we'll look at with respect to geography this year, right? So the first thing, the first topic for the day today is deep ocean mission. So the deep ocean mission, we've already read about mission Samudrayan. So mission Samudrayan is a subset of deep ocean mission. We didn't get time to go thoroughly into deep ocean mission, and I've come, I want to look in detail with respect to this topic. So Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs (CCEA), so CCEA has approved proposal of Ministry of Earth Sciences on the deep ocean mission. So deep ocean mission is being led by Ministry of Earth Sciences, right? The blueprint of deep ocean mission to explore deep recesses of the ocean was unveiled in 2018. See, the blueprint was released then. Earlier, Ministry of Earth Sciences had also rolled out the draft blue economy policy. Now, this mission, the estimated cost would be rupees 4,077 crore over 5-year period to be implemented in phases. So, Ministry of Earth Sciences, as I discussed, will be nodal ministry, and it will be mission mode project to support blue economy initiatives. Now, under this, mission blue economy. First of all, what is blue economy? Blue economy is a sustainable use of ocean resources for economic growth, improved livelihoods and jobs, and ocean system ecosystem health. So the technology and expertise needed in such missions are now available with only 5 countries: US, Russia, France, Japan, and China. India now will be the 6th country to have it. So under this, a manned submersible will be developed to carry 3 people to depth of 6,000 meters in the ocean with a suite of scientific sensors and tools. Integrated mining system will also be developed for mining polymetallic nodules at those depths in the central Indian Ocean. Now, these polymetallic nodules are rocks which are scattered on the seabed containing iron, manganese, nickel, and cobalt. As you know, in the electronics industry, they are so important. And India, except iron, have pretty much shortage of manganese, nickel, and cobalt. The exploration studies of minerals will pave the way for commercial exploitation in the near future, as and when the commercial exploitation code is evolved by International Seabed Authority and a United Nations organization. This infographics tells a little more detail. What are these polymetallic nodules? This polymetallic nodules total 92.6 metric tons are manganese, nickel, 4.7 copper, this and cobalt. You can go through this infographic and will help you get more understanding on deep ocean mission and what it really wants to explore, and what is polymetallic nodules, and it's what kind of polymetallic nodules are found in the seabed. The next topic now we will be covering is Bharat Mala project. So it is a umbrella project. So what do I mean by umbrella project? It's like an umbrella, has various wires attached inside, right? So similarly, it is an overall, Bharat Mala is a broader project under which there will be sub projects will be there. So this will be with respect to economic corridors, inter corridors, national corridors, efficiency improvement, border roads. So these are like their sub projects under the Bharat Mala project. So it is umbrella project under Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. The Public Investment Board has cleared the proposal for Bharat Mala Project phase 1. Under this plan, the government intends to develop 83,677 kilometers of highways and roads at the investment of around 7 lakh crore in 5 years. So if you see, phase 1, it's a very important phase. Under this phase 1, 34,800, and this is what phase 1 looks like. Now, where are further classification of this 34,800 kilometer of roads will be economic corridors of 9,000 kilometers, 6,000 kilometers of inter corridor and feeder routes like these, right? It focuses on new initiatives like development of border and international connectivity roads, coastal and port connectivity roads, improving efficiency of national corridors, economic corridors, and others. It will subsume unfinished parts of National Highway Development Program. So, National Highways Development Project to potentially generate 10 billion jobs, and so this is further classification of this project. Here, a major emphasis. Okay, it is an umbrella project. Which are the further projects there under this? What is the major objective of this? This is what you should focus upon. The next one is the Parvatmala project. Now, this has been released. This project in this year's budget. It was first time talked about. The scheme will be taken up on PPP, public-private partnership mode, which will be preferred ecologically sustainable alternative in place of conventional roads in difficult areas. So actually under this, the ropeways and cableways will be established in the hilly areas. The idea is to improve the connectivity and convenience for commuters besides promoting tourism. This may also cover congested urban areas where conventional mass transit systems are not feasible. The schemes is being presently started in regions like Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh, Manipur, J&K, and other northeastern states. Finance Minister has announced the contracts for 8 ropeway projects for length of 60 km will be awarded in 2022-23. The Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, which is also known as MORTH, will have responsibility for development of ropeway and alternative mobility solutions technology, as well as construction research and policy in this area. So in February 2021, the Government of India allocation business rules was amended, which enabled MORTH to also look after the development of ropeways and alternative mobility solutions. Under the Parvatmala scheme, as I told, it will be working in the PPP mode. Idea is to improve connectivity convenience for commuters, especially in rural areas. To decongest, also make our urban areas which are congested. Here under this, ropeways and cableways can handle large slopes and large differences. Will be established. Ropeway projects adopting 35 or equivalent technologies can transport 6 to 8,000 passengers per hour. Recently, if you heard, Dharamshala McLeodgan's ropeway project has also started. Nodal Ministry of MORTH, covered area, Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh, significance has been discussed. The next topic which we'll be discussing right now is PM Divine. So PM Divine, again, it's a PM Development Initiative for Northeastern Region. PM Divine, PM Development Initiative for Northeastern Region. It was again announced in the Union Budget 2022-23. It's in the spirit of PM Gati Shakti, funding infrastructure and social development projects, an initial allocation of 1,500 crores in Northeastern Region, right? Northeastern Region, right? Objective, enable livelihood activities for youth and women, filling gaps in various sectors. We'll go more into detail here. So it will fund infrastructure in the spirit of PM Gati Shakti and social development projects based on felt needs in northeastern states. Objective PM is being implemented the following objective: to enable livelihood activities for youth and women, to filling gaps in various sectors. Implementing agencies PM Divine. So PM Divine scheme will be implemented by Northeastern Council. Northeastern Council. Funding and initial allocation of 1,500 crore will be made for PM Divine. Project selection under PM Divine scheme, projects can be recommended by center and northeast states as well as, but priority will be given to project posed by the states. Significance will enable livelihood activities for youth and women, filling the gaps in various sectors. This is the objective as of now with respect to PM Divine scheme. Again, a very important mission, Government of India, again, very important topic also with this prelims is technical textiles mission. So in 2020, actually in February, the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs gave its approval to set up National Technical Textiles Mission. The mission would have a 4-year implementation period from fiscal year 21 to fiscal year 24. Aim is to promote research, export and skill development, encourage manufacturing facilities and use of technical textile. Before we go into it, we should also know what is actually technical textile. So technical textile, first let's know. Are textile materials and products manufactured primarily for technical performance and functional properties rather than aesthetic characteristics. So you can say more of functional in nature. I come to it. What kinds are divided into 12 broad categories, which I've shown above in the diagram as well. Agrotech, Buildtech, Cloudtech, Geotech, Hometech, Indotech, Mobitech, Meditech, Protech, Sportstech, Oikotech, and Packtech. So what are these actually? If you've seen, Agrotech includes the textile generated for these sectors. Buildtech also. So sectors are given. UPSC can ask. You never know. UPSC can ask which of the following sectors, or which of the following particular sectors are covered in oak tech, like this. You never know. So you just go through it once. Now, under this national textile mission, what is the need of it? The penetration level of technical textile is low in India, varying between 5 to 10% against level of 30 to 70% in developed countries. For example, let's say you see a building being developed, but the necessary clothing which is required for laborers is not usually being adhered to. That is a part of technical tech. Or if you see doctors using certain kind of, textile, that is also part of technical tech. So all the sectors are given. In India, the penetration is very low, between 5 to 10% as compared to 30 to 70% in developed countries. Insignificant share in world, and moreover in Indian technical textile has less share in world market. It is currently at $16 billion, which is approximately only 6% of $250 billion global technical market. So the raw materials will be both natural fiber, which is cotton, silk, sisal, rags, and wool, and man-made fibers and polymers, which is viscose, polyetide, polyolefin, flax, polyester, aramid, UMHW, polyethylene, carbon, and glass. Right. The next topic we will be going through is AMOC. So, as you all know, right, we've gone through it earlier as well when we were doing the IPCC 6th assessment report. Atlantic meridional overturning circulation, AMOC, is losing its stability as per IPCC report and is very likely to decline over 21st century. Here, you should be aware about what is AMOC. Its impact, current, what is its use? What will be the impact when it loses its stability? How will the stability be lost? The ocean, as you know, has an interconnected current or circulation powered by wind, tides, and Earth's rotation. Sun also is one of the force and water density differences. So AMOC, it is a large system of ocean currents. It is the Atlantic branch of the ocean conveyor belt or thermohaline circulation and distributes the heat and nutrients throughout world ocean basins. AMOC carries warm surface waters from the tropics towards northern hemisphere, where it cools and sinks. It then returns to the tropics and then to the South Atlantic as a bottom current, from where it is distributed to all ocean bases by the Atlantic circumpolar current. So Atlantic circumpolar current is the most important current in Southern Ocean and the only current that flows completely around the globe. Important. So we are talking about AMOC, here also reference to ACC, which is Antarctic circumpolar current. Antarctic circumpolar current. So Antarctic circumpolar current is the most important current in the Southern Ocean, and only current that flows completely around the globe. Without a proper AMOC and Gulf Stream, Europe will be very important. So Gulf Stream and AMOC are the reasons that Europe is relatively warm, but it would have been extremely cold if they wouldn't have been there. Gulf Stream, as a part of AMOC, is a warm current responsible for mild climate at the eastern coast of North America as well as Europe. An AMOC shutdown will cool the northern hemisphere and decrease the rainfall over Europe. It can also have an effect on El Nino. So El Nino is a climate pattern, as you know, that describes unusual warming of surface waters in the eastern tropical Pacific Ocean. It can also shift monsoons in South America and Africa. So just see the impact of AMOC. An IPCC report says that it can become unstable. If it becomes unstable, the world climate will become unstable, as you can see. Hence, it is a thing to worry about. Area focus, AMOC, ACC, El Nino, Gulf Stream, and overall ocean currents, right? This is the map which shows the how ocean currents flows. and what kind of ocean current, warm current and cold current. The next topic right now, which we'll be looking at, is PM Gati Shakti. So the government of India has launched the ambitious Gati Shakti scheme, or National Master Plan for Multimodal Connectivity Plan, with the aim of coordinated planning and execution of infrastructure projects to bring down logistic costs. As you all know, India has one of the highest logistics costs. Overall, in GDP, it is like 12 to 13% of GDP goes into logistics, whereas in the developed countries, it is between 6 to 8%. So under PM Gati Shakti, the aim is to ensure integrated planning and implementation of infrastructure projects in next 4 years, with focus on expediting works on the ground, saving costs and creating jobs. Right. So it will help improve the movement of logistics across with faster movements. It will also create jobs and saving costs on ground. The Gati Shakti scheme will subsume the 110 lakh crore national infrastructure pipeline that was launched in 2020. So it will become part of PM Gati Shakti scheme, the national infrastructure pipeline. Besides cutting logistics costs, the scheme is also aimed at increasing cargo handling capacity and reducing the turnaround time at ports to boost trade. See, when I was head of port security at Paradip Port, when I was in CISF, when I joined, the turnaround time for a particular ship, which was a large crude carrier, was about 5 to 6 days. And usually in developed countries, it is around 1 to 2 days. So if you can see, the turnaround time is very slow. Moreover, the flow of traffic is pretty slow in the ports in India. Hence, PM Gati Shakti actually wants to improve not just the flow of traffic, fast movement of traffic at the ports or across the roadways, airports, ports, but also the turnaround time of movement of especially at the ports, which is been mentioned. As I told you, currently it is 4 to 5 days. Government of India plans to bring it down to 1 to 2 days, like developed countries. It also aims to have 11 industrial corridors and 2 new defense corridors, one in Tamil Nadu and one in Uttar Pradesh. Extending 4G connectivity to all villages is another aim. Adding 17,000 kilometers to gas pipeline network is also being planned. So all this is a part of PM Gati Shakti scheme. It will help in fulfilling the ambitious targets set by government for 2024-25, including expanding the length of national highway network to 2 lakh kilometers, creation of more than 200 new airports, heliports, and water aerodromes. This will help in removing long-standing issues such as disjointed planning, lack of standardization problems with clearances, and timely creation and utilization of infrastructure capacities. Gati Shakti digital platform, it involves, so there will be a Gati Shakti digital platform as well. It will involve the creation of common umbrella platform through which infrastructure projects can be planned, implemented, even the status can be checked in real-time basis. So you can see the importance of this topic for this year, very important. Indian ports, specifically, I'm just going through I wanted you to go through this. Here the focus should be, so there are, one is major ports, one is intermediate ports. I've got a chance to visit 4-5 ports myself, and I've researched also on that. I can here Mundra port is shown as an intermediate port, whereas currently it is the largest in India. Hence, it is a major port, but it is not considered major government port because it is a private sector port. Currently, Mundra port is run by Adani Ports. There are a few major ports which are run by government, which are DPT, Deen Dayal Port Trust, Kandla, very important. It is one of the biggest, so it has usually fight with the Paradip Port, where I also say. So currently, Paradip Port in terms of total metric ton capacity is number 1, and Deen Dayal Port Trust is number 2. It is Paradip is also the fastest growing port. Haldia. So I'm right now the government ports are Paradip, Visakhapatnam, Chennai Port Trust, Thoothukudi, which is Tuticorin, Kochi Port Trust, Cochin Port Trust, Mangalore, which is New Mangalore Port Trust, Marmagaon Port Trust, which is in MPT Goa, JNPT Mumbai, Jawaharlal Nehru Port Trust. There is one more here which is not mentioned actually, which is MPT Mumbai Port Trust. There are two ports in Mumbai. One is Mumbai Port Trust, and one is JNPT, Jawaharlal Nehru Port Trust. Then there is the next one, which is the DPT Kandla. So these are the government ports. Remaining, which you see here, Kakinada, Machilipatnam, Krishnapatnam, Kattupalli, Ennore, Nagapatnam. These are all private ports and are intermediate ports. There is one more important here, which is not mentioned, is Dhamra port. There is one more developed recently here, which is Gopalpur port. These both ports are also run by Adani now. Then there are Porbandar, Bhavnagar, Baru, the smaller ports. Majorly important, Kandla port, one of the biggest, Paradeep, Haldia. But there is, see, Haldia is a dock, whereas port majorly here is Kolkata Port Trust, EPT, Kolkata Port Trust. So here what you should know is largest port, so fastest growing, largest. So when I say largest, it is not in the size, but with respect to the million metric tons of turnaround in a year, financial year is usually it is out. Fastest growing is the rate of growth from previous year, right? One very important here, which is not, which is upcoming port near Ratnagiri, which is rather south of Ratnagiri or north of Goa in Sindhudurg district, is coming as Port Vadhavan. Vadhavan, very important here. This is the new government port which is being developed. Vadhavan port in Sindhudurg district. So ports are very important part of PM Gati Shakti. Here, Sagarmala project, you should go through. What is Sagarmala project? This directly relation with ports, you should be well aware of, right? So now we come on to the topics, places and news. I've tried to cover all the places and news in one go. So 87 to 91 topics I've covered in one go. See, I could not have gone through all the places. So, all 30, 40 important were there, but I've covered only 13 to 15, which were there in news. So Kazakhstan, how to look at places in news. When I say Kazakhstan, you don't just look at Kazakhstan. Okay, this is Kazakhstan. Your objective is to look at the countries surrounding Kazakhstan. So whenever I look at the maps which I've given now, I look at the countries adjoining, seas, adjoining, major rivers if any, mountain chains, right, and others which I'll talk you through. So 2022 Kazakhstan unrest was there. Series of massive protests that began in Kazakhstan after a sudden sharp increase in liquefied petroleum gas. So Kazakhstan is one of the biggest countries in Central Asia, right? And Russia to the north, as you can see, right? China and only China to the east. You have Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan and Turkmenistan to the south, and Caspian Sea to the west, right? So this is Kazakh. UAE was also in news. Houthi rebels have in recent weeks launched several drone and missile attacks in UAE. Houthi has so in response, the coalition has stepped up attacks in Sada province, North Yemen. Hence, we need to look at Middle East map. Okay, where is UAE? This small country is UAE, right? And this is Iran, right across. So this is Persian Gulf. Important is Persian Gulf, Gulf of Oman. Here you can see these two are important when you're looking at Middle East. Persian Gulf surrounding question has been asked. The countries tell which of the following countries are, bordering Persian Gulf. So you see Kuwait City is there, Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq. So the countries mentioned here are again UAE and Yemen. So Yemen is not on Persian Gulf, but Red Sea. Here again, Red Sea adjoining countries, Persian Gulf, and there is Gulf of Oman also. These three important bodies are there. So just see the adjoining countries and where UAE is, And which are the countries UAE is also joining? Indonesia. Indonesia will relocate its capital from Jakarta to Nusantara. Indonesia will move its capital to mineral-rich East Kalimantan, an Indonesian province of the island of Borneo. The Borneo island, as you can see, Kalimantan, and new capital summit will be established here. Currently, it is Jakarta. Why actually they are changing? Jakarta is being flooded because of sea level rise. Hence, they are changing the capital. Mariupol, Ukraine. This is something you must be hearing on daily basis, or at least reading in your newspaper on daily basis. So Mariupol is a port city, which is a part of industrial region in eastern Ukraine known as Donbass, has been key Russian objective. So it is a port city, as I was telling, which gives access to what? Sea of Azov, which further gives access to where? Black Sea. Right, very important. So this is a part of eastern Donbass region. Currently, a lot of fighting is going on here. And as you can see, firstly, Ukraine-Russia crisis, hence this area becomes important. Black Sea becomes important. Sea of Azov becomes important. Crimea becomes. So all these countries. So Russia, north of Ukraine, Belarus, east of Ukraine, Russia, west there. Now west are very important. That is where migrants went. The migrants went to Romania, Moldova, Poland. Right? These are the countries where migrants went. Not to Belarus. Why? Why not to Belarus? Actually, when initially it was attacked from this side, north and east. Belarus is a close ally of Russia. Russian troops entered also from the Belarus side. Right? That is why migrants didn't go to Belarus. Or refugees. Not migrants, I would say, refugees. Solomon Islands also a location in news. Right? US government has warned Solomon Islands that it will respond accordingly if its security agreement with China leads to a Chinese military presence in the Pacific Island. So as you know, Solomon Island has signed a treaty with China. Though no details have come out of it, but then US has warned about, if there is any military presence, we will see to it. Where is Solomon Islands? It's northeast of Australia. It's the Oceania region. So Solomon Island, North Pacific. Okay, so it is north of Australian Ocean. You should see, which are the country close Papua New Guinea. Right, these are the countries nearby. Char Island, Bangladesh. Char Island has been news because, as you know, Rohingya refugees were moved to this island, right, and by Bangladesh. So Char Island is actually a temporary island which was made due to certain activities like cyclones and after certain cyclones and all. So Bangladesh actually moved a lot of refugees, Rohingya refugees, to this island. Here in this map, you should focus on Bangladesh rivers. Chittagong port is important. There's one place called Cox's Bazar, right? Sundarbans, which is the area. So Meghna River. What is this Meghna? Dhaka capital. Just have a broader look. Taiwan. Taiwan has been in news because differences over Taiwan's status have fueled rising tensions between island and the mainland. Conflict over Taiwan also has the potential to be a flashpoint in US-China relations. So, as you know, Taiwan is, though it claims itself to be independent, but it is also known as Republic of China, ROC, is Taiwan. Whereas Taiwan, there are multiple names. Don't confuse. Chinese Taipei is also Taiwan. ROC is also Taiwan. PROC, People's Republic of China, is China. Now, China is controlled by communist government, whereas due to historically there was a conflict between communist and Kuomintang. Kuomintang actually went, left the mainland and came to this area called Taiwan Island. That is where they're still, it is more democratic in nature. Though Taiwan does not explicitly claims it independent, but there are countries which have a direct relationship with Taiwan as well. So Taiwan, which area? So there is East China Sea, there is South China Sea to the south, there is on the north is East China Sea. And to the west, there is China mainland. Okay, this is what you should know. Belarus. Belarus also has been in news, as I was just discussing, 2021, Belarus, European Union border crisis. Okay, there was one more border crisis. Belarus, European Union border crisis is a migrant crisis consisting of an influx of several tens of thousands of migrants. Belarus actually picked up migrants from Africa and other countries, brought them on plane to Belarus, took them to the border of European Union, and actually wanted them to, cross over. Migrants primarily from Iraqi Kurdistan, Asia, and from parts of Africa trying to reach countries like Egypt. So it was happened. Now it's been controlled. Belarus has been accused of encouraging migrants to fly to its capital Minsk before pushing them toward the border with Poland and even encouraging them to clash with Polish authorities. So here map is very important. So as you can see, this is Belarus Minsk. So there is this Poland. That is how they wanted to push it. But there are three more countries. If you can see, these are which countries? These are Baltic states. I'll come to that. Baltic states, Baltic states. Yes, I was talking about Baltic states. So Baltics is a geopolitical term because why? There is a one Baltic Sea. That is why the countries which adjoin Baltic Sea are Baltic states. Not all the countries, but the countries on the southeast of Baltic Sea. Typically used to group the three countries on the eastern coast of Baltic Sea, which is Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. These three countries. Three countries do not form an official union but cooperate in matters of security and defense. All three countries are members of NATO, counter the bullying by Russia, the Eurozone, OECD, and European. These are the agencies, organizations which these three Baltic states are part of. In order, remember Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. These are the three. There's one Gulf of Riga as well. Riga is the capital of Latvia. So remember, there is Russia on the east and Belarus on the southeast. Nordic states. Yes, this is also recently Prime Minister Modi held or attended second India Nordic Summit. Important. Now, what is now there is confusion between Scandinavian, Nordic, and Baltic between students. I want to clarify with this. See, yeah, Baltic pretty clear. Baltic is pretty clear now. Latvia, right? Estonia, and Lithuania, right? These three. Right? These three. That is pretty clear now. So this is Baltic states. Baltic states. Now let's talk about Scandinavian and Nordic. See, Scandinavian are the countries which exclude Iceland, but are four countries. See, four countries are there. Denmark. There is Norway. Then there is Sweden. And then there is Finland. Right? These are the right. You got it? So Scandinavian, whereas in Nordic countries, Iceland will also be there. Okay, I think so. Finland, I just have to say, Finland is not a part of Scandinavian. Denmark, Norway, Sweden, three Scandinavian countries. Nordic are five: Iceland, Finland, Norway, Sweden, and Denmark. Right? Nordic, Scandinavian, three countries: Denmark, Norway, Sweden. Finland and Iceland, when they add up, will become part of Nordic states. Chile. The South American country of Chile has formed a constitution convention to write a new constitution to tackle climate and ecological emergency. As you know, it has one of the longest coastlines, and also because of sea level rise, it is taking this step. It will also determine the future of soft, lustrous metal, lithium in the country. Why? Because Chile is extremely rich in lithium, which is the second largest lithium producer after Australia, an essential component of batteries that support almost all modern state smart devices. Lithium ion batteries. We read about that, right? So here we need to look at South America. Chile is on the eastern coast with adjoining Pacific Ocean. On the west, you will find Argentina, Bolivia, right? On the north, you'll find Peru. Mount Kilimanjaro, Tanzania. The snow of Kilimanjaro could vanish by 2040 due to climate change. Mount Kilimanjaro is a dormant volcano in Tanzania. It is the highest mountain in Africa. It is the highest single freestanding mountain also in the world. Mount Kilimanjaro, as I told, it's nearly on the border of Kenya and Tanzania in the Tanzania side of the border in Eastern Africa. Nord Stream pipeline 2. So it was in news, as you know, for the reasons that the Nord Stream pipeline 2, has been currently held up, has been, stayed. Germany wanted a lot of, wanted gas from Russia, and this project was to get, European countries becoming more dependent on Russia. But due to this Ukraine-Russia war, this project has been held now. So earlier Nord Stream pipeline was working, still working, but Nord Stream 2 pipeline had to be started, but has been held up now. So from here, you just should know that from which parts of, what is the route and which countries it will affect. That's it. I do told at Maldives. So Maldives, very important. Recently, Maldives has become a very, important area for India with respect to Indian Ocean region, with respect to Sagar, which is security and growth for all in the region. And if you can see why, because of its location. When, here in Comoros, China is setting up its base. There are some more countries where China is having presence. That is why India wants to counter it through better ties with Maldives. And in Maldives, Adu Atoll is the area where India is especially developing a lot. Many projects have started. And Adu Atoll is the southernmost. If you see the location, you can clearly see why India is targeting this, because it is southernmost, and India will have the reach to the southernmost part of Maldives, from where it can actually also have a better expanse or better look out into the entire area. Militarily, also in future, if they want to come up here and develop their base, it will be strategically very much better to make a base in the southernmost part of Maldives. So this is all with respect to areas, the important location in news. There, I would recommend that, see, broadly what I've tried to do is to cover the entire continents, major continents, so you can have glimpse through mentioning certain countries, but it is not holistic. I would like you to, invest time, because 1 to 2 question every year I specifically asked from location and news. A very good hold on Indian geography as well as world geography mapping part will really help you. Whenever you read a newspaper, make sure that you should go through a location is mentioned, immediately Google that location on map or open the atlas and see that location and see around, not just the location. For example, let's say Kushinagar airport is being established. Which part of UP it is there, right? How far, how far it is from other important cities of, what are the rivers passing nearby, topography of that region, neighboring country, which is Nepal. Okay, try to see more dimensions of a location. Then you will, those things will get into your mind, and always have a one reference point. Try to remember that with, Kushinagar, like Mahapari Nirvan of Lord Buddha. Try to remember like with that, with a reference. That will help you remember. So this was all the major I tried to mention the important topics of geography part, and hence I think so. We'll conclude geography here, and the next which I'll be covering up is the agriculture part. So that's all for today's session. I'll come up with the next session soon, and keep preparing. All the very best for your paper, and just try revising and revising, and that will the only thing which will help you a lot in the exam. Thank you once again.